Hello, Father Rich coming to you from the main hallway, entryway of Our Lady of Peace School. I come here for our next essay on how the church has changed the world. It's called A Giant Among Men. Before we get to that, just wanted to talk about this image, and it ties in with this essay as far as a similar time frame. But this is the image of Mary, Our Lady Queen of Peace. And remember that the school was the first building here on the campus and served the cafeteria first for about 10 years, and then the gym, the auditorium, as the place for Mass before the church was built in 1977. So this image goes back to the original that's in Rome, and it was commissioned by Pope Benedict XV, who was the Pope from 1914 to 1922. He was the one, of course, Pope during World War I. And at the end of the war, he commissioned this image to be created as a way to pray for peace and to celebrate that the war was over and to pray that this would not happen again. And of course, we know, unfortunately, there was another World War. So this continued and kind of strengthened the devotion to Our Lady of Peace that goes back to the 1600s. And so it is the kind of most significant image of Mary Queen of Peace, or Our Lady of Peace, here on our parish campus. And so the person that is highlighted in our essay today, this giant among men, was a cardinal during World War I and was well known and esteemed and respected for the work that he did in Belgium. Cardinal Desire, different pronunciations, Mercier. And he was the professor in Belgium at Louvain, taught philosophy. One of his big things was that he was a Thomist, studied St. Thomas Aquinas, and wanted the church to kind of renew its appreciation of St. Thomas Aquinas, as remember is something that Pope Leo XIII in the late 1800s was advocating as well. But in the midst of that, in addition to being a great shepherd and leader in the Belgian church as a cardinal and archbishop, he also was heroic in how he helped the people of Belgium deal with World War I and the devastation that was going on. He stood up against the Germans and tried to be also to intercede civically and helping kind of bring an end to the war and stop the Germans from advancing into Belgium. And so in the midst of this, he would gain kind of a worldwide respect and appreciation. So much so that he came to the United States in 1919. And the first person to greet him was General Pershing, one of the great American generals of World War I. And he would go on a 2-week tour that they say really was the greatest reception that any foreigner had received in the United States since Lafayette, General Lafayette of the Revolutionary War. Remember the great aid, and many say because the French got involved in Lafayette, and specifically that the Americans were able to win the Revolutionary War. So we don't maybe hear much about him, but back in the day, and certainly in the 1920s and 1910s, he had a kind of worldwide fame. And also just known for his holiness, his kind of academic and intelligence, as well as just his outreach to the poor and those in need. And so really a saintly, holy man. I don't know if there's any movement on his cause for sainthood, but certainly somebody to be admired. So another thing that I've read outside of the article that really are phenomenal, just on his practical wisdom and spirituality as well, that this is what he would advise, just as something he said would make the difference in really helping us all grow in holiness. So this is right from his words. Every day for 5 minutes, control your imagination. Close your eyes to the things of sense and your ears to all the noises of the world in order to enter into yourself. Then in the sanctity of your baptized soul, which is the temple of the Holy Spirit, speak to that divine Spirit, saying to him, and this is the prayer from Cardinal Mercier, O Holy Spirit, beloved of my soul, I adore you. Enlighten me, guide me, strengthen me, console me. Tell me what I should do. Give me your orders. I promise to submit myself to all that you desire of me and accept all that you permit to happen to me. Let me only know your will. The Cardinal goes on to say, if you do this, your life will flow along happily, serenely, and full of consolation, even in the midst of trials. Or in other words, you'll know the peace of Christ, the peace that Our Lady, Queen of Peace, intercedes for. Grace will be proportioned to the trial, giving you strength to carry it, and you will arrive at the gate of paradise laden with merit. So I have to admit, I didn't know much about this great man of the church and man of our world before this essay, and appreciate learning more about him. I want to think about using that prayer in my own daily prayer life, or certainly more consistently, and I want to get to know this giant, not just a physical stature. Again, he was 6 feet 10 inches, but was truly a giant in the life of the Spirit, in the life of the church, but also in the civic life of Belgium and the world. So we thank God for him. Another way the church has changed the world. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day. God bless.